Hey YouTube, this is Intuitive Retta. How are you? Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. If you would like your own personal reading, contact me at intuitiveretta@gmail.com. I'm doing my monthly Biden reading. So, just to let everybody know, this month is going to be shit for us. It's going to be horrible. So this is the month of the Lovers and the Devil. So this is a month about choices. Choices, choices, choices. But the problem, you would think choices is good, which normally choices are good, to have lots of different choices. But the downside of these choices is the devil, which is the ego, which is personal gain, which is vices, which is all the little swampy swamp things included. So, it means that the choices this month aren't going to be based on the greater good of the people. The choices are going to be more selfish, more ego, more vices, me, 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 me. And also the choices are going to be, who is this person tied to? You know, because with the devil card, remember there's chains, and they're chained to the devil. So these chains, who are these choices for, So just so you know, it's the choices. And even with us, we have to think of energetically. We need to be careful as a country, as individual people in our daily life about our choices this month. And not to make selfish choices or choices based on fear or choices based on, your own ego. So you're going to have many choices this month, but you need to go into these choices with a clear head. And not for, your vice reasons, not out of fear. Don't make these choices out of fear. Don't make these choices out of ego. Don't make these choices out of selfishness. Okay? And also, those are relationships this month. This is like a month of infidelity, and so forth like that. So, and if those are getting into new relationships, just be careful of the choices that you make of who you're going to get into a relationship with. So you guys know I do the readings I've done since I started on YouTube. And when I started doing readings, which was 2016 on YouTube. So I'm going to do the what's in Biden's head, what's going on in the administration, what's going on in his family. And then we'll go to see individually, like, what's going on in our country and so forth. Okay, so the energy around Biden this month. Let's see. Oh man, I gotta do this fast. I had this charged, but it doesn't look like it charged very much. Okay, this is Biden. Okay, so this is what's going on in his head. Okay, this is what's going on in the administration. And then his family. And if you look back at my old readings on my other page, you see this is exactly what I did for Trump too. Ooh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. Whew. The energy is moving on, moving on, moving on. But this is also the 6, which is Lovers and the Devil. So this looks like either he's coming from a place of dark or into illumination, or meaning that he's more illuminated this month, meaning that the more the light is going to shine on him this month, and he just wants to move on. Move on from what? Could be a lot of things. Could be what's going on in Afghanistan, the COVID, the financials, all that. He just wants to move on. Okay, what's going on in his head? His wife. I always call this card rob Peter to pay Paul. Take away from this to give to that. Nothing's quite balanced. Financially, things aren't balanced. In his head, things aren't balanced. Physically, things aren't balanced. So you're taking away from one to give to the other, or even taking away, since this is a month about choices, taking away one people's choice to give more choices to the other. Taking away one person's income and giving it to another. You understand what I'm saying? So that's going on with his mind. And also, he feels like he's successful. He feels that, what he's doing, this give and take, this taken from one, given to the other, is being very successful. So he really thinks that whatever he's doing is very successful, that he's very successful, that everything is going well. So this act that we might feel that he's putting on when he's like, oh, let's go, he really believes it. I don't know if... I think his wife tells him a lot. I think his wife is, foremost in his thought process. So he really thinks he's doing good. What's going on in the administration? King of Swords, a lot of men putting their opinion. There's a lot of men putting their opinion. Also, the sword is up, so that's talking about, they are wanting to defend, their thoughts, their decisions. Lawyers, people of authority, also they want to attack. So the sword's up, so that they're on the offensive, not so much of the defensive, verbally and intellectually. A lot of not truth telling, with their thoughts, with their words. This is like the only deck that I ever find with the ace down. With the ace of swords down. And to me, the swords down is not really, telling the truth. The sword's not up. So how this person feels that they have, mental victory, mental thoughts, to go in charge, and, their thoughts are important and they want to get it out there, and what they say go. This is telling me that, just because they feel that they have the mental authority or the thought authority, it's not necessarily right. So what's going on in the White House, the administration? They're fighting with words and thoughts and ideas, but it's not really right. It's not really right. It's not really truthful. And all they want, which is funny, is everybody to be, come together. Come together. Also, I'm seeing this rainbow. Is something going on in like the LGBT this month? I don't know. So I'm seeing the rainbow. What's going on within LGBT? I'm not sure, but they're feeling like, that their thoughts, their ideas is going to make everybody happy. Like, this is their way of making everybody happy. Their ideas, even though they're not right, even though they're not truthful, even though that they can't really defend them because the sword's down, it's going to make everybody happy. What's going on with his family? A lot of heartbreak going on in their family. Things in the family aren't going good. So the things in the family are spiritual pain, emotional pain, mental pain, and the Hermit, the isolation. This is his year. Biden's year is to isolate himself. But to me, this isolation, look at this, how these swords are going crisscross. I don't think his thoughts are clear. I think that his thoughts are kind of jumbled, and it's making him isolated. also maybe kind of even making him wanting to go into himself more, maybe paranoid or whatever. And look at this guy, you know. I always say when you do readings, look at the cards too, and what are they showing you? So you might know the definition, the book knowledge, but what these cards showing me? So it's telling me he may have this illumination or think he knows, you know, enough stuff to get him through the dark. But as he's going forward, he's hitting his illumination and all this. It's hitting a brick wall. So he can't get any further ahead. He can't get further ahead because his thoughts are jumbled, are crisscrossing, and his illumination is like hitting. Look at this as a wall. There's not like somewhere for him to go. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing for him to go. It's a wall. So in his family, he can't see how to get. It's like there's something going on in the family with the jumble that he's hitting a big wall. So is his thoughts. As a person, I was a geriatric nurse for 20 years. His thought process it's isolating him. Does he not want to show his family how bad he is? His thoughts are. Is the family can see how bad his thoughts are and how isolating he is, and it's like tearing the family up. But there's that woman, could be the wife, you know, that's could be the wife, could be another woman that's ready to fight. Even though she's going to defend, she's going to fight, she's going to defend her family, defend the whatever, but also there's a lot of anger. What's going on? I think for some reason, I don't know if this is the daughter. And there's a lot of anger. Just like we seen with the Hunter Biden reading, there was a lot of anger towards his father. I think she has a lot of anger too. She's an angry person. And if you look at the sunflower, you know, it grows towards the sun, it gets big, it bears fruit, but this one doesn't look very, you know, good. It looks like it may be decaying or whatever. So, you know, what's the decaying in this family? Okay. Let's see. What does this mean for us as a country? Let's see. Hopefully. Our country. What's the energy for our country? Whoops, I want to put this in here too. It's the energy for our country this month. For us, the people. Let's see. What should we look out for or be aware for this month? What should we be aware of this month? And what advice this month? Temptation. This is the devil card again. Remember all that stuff I said earlier about us as the people? You know, look at him. He's trying to push it away. Push away the temptation. Push it away. Push away the temptation. So, as the people here, we're going to be tempted. And remember, these temptations and these choices that we can't make them in fear. We can't make them selfishly. We can't make them ego related. You know, ego. We got to push that away. We got to push the fear away. Got to push the anger away. Got to push, you know, the self-fulfilling away. All right? Look at it again. I think they're going to try to give us in fear, or they're going to give us choices, and it's the choices that we're going to have to come, or they're going to try to throw at us, is not coming from a place of love or from a place of light. It's a place from fear. You see it right here. We're going to have to fight. We can't not, this is a card about conflict, mental conflict. But nobody's, people are, putting their swords down. It's kind of a draw. It's kind of a draw. And whoever this is, nobody's really fighting. Nobody's really fighting, mentally the way that they're supposed to fight. We as a country need to fight mentally, meaning mentally, like law. We need to kind of fight our, these laws that are going in. We need to change laws. We need to get into law, like Congress and elected officials. We need to get more involved because they feel like we've kind of put down our swords, that the fight that they're seeing, they're not really caring about, like the little protests we're doing. They don't really care. And they don't even feel like they have to defend themselves from whatever's going on. It doesn't even feel, they already felt like they've won 2 battles, and they're focused on 2 battles that they've already won, and they're going to defend them. So whether that's the COVID or, they already feel like they've won and they're going to defend them. They don't feel like they really have to fight or defend the law or the Congress or the government. Don't feel, and they feel like the people aren't really, fighting. And the people here, we need to come together. Both groups need to come together. Both groups. I'm still seeing what is going on with, I'm still seeing what's going on in Japan. What's going on in Japan? I don't know. I haven't paid attention, and I should have, because last couple of months Japan has been like on my mind. What's going on in Japan? Also, it's saying that our groups need to come together. We need to get rid of this Democrat, Republican. We need to come together. We need to come together. And I think we're getting closer. I think both parties are angry. Even one party is angrier more than the other one. But I don't think Joe and the government realizes they're starting to tick off the other party too. They're starting to tick off their own party. We got to remember right now, all the choices, everything that's going on this month is going to be from not a place of love, a place of fear, selfishness, vices, self-gain. And we got to remember our choices, that's what the government's choices are this month. And we got to remember the same choices are for us. We can't fall into the trap of the devil, of temptation. All right? What's the advice? What's the advice is remember when things were better. We need to go back and remember when, we were 2 different sides, or we were different sides of the country, or different thought process. But we need to go back to a time where we could tolerate each other. We could enjoy each other's conversations. We could enjoy each other's company. And it was fruitful. Us coming together, Dems, Republicans, North and South. We need to come to a time where we were mutually beneficial for both of us. And we need to get rid of the anxiety. This government has us all so anxious. People aren't sleeping. People are living in fear. We need to remove the fear. Remove the fear and stop making decisions based on fear. And look at all these things. The anxiety and stuff is causing deaths. Meaning that they don't even talk about it with this whole, they're not talking about, a good reason to avoid, getting an infection, an immune infection or respiratory, any type of infection is good health. Sleeping well, eating well, getting good sleep, less stress, this and that. We got to remember that, because it's not necessarily the virus that's killing people. It's all the things that lead up to us being our immune system open with stress and stuff to cause that. Okay? And stop thinking that you're going to die. Yes, people die every year, and I think it's New York State alone. The flu kills a lot of people. I think like, 30,000 or 300,000 a year. You got to think of that, so they forget that the flu kills. As a nurse, I've seen the flu. In the elderly population, that's every year the flu kills a lot of our elderly off. because their immune system is compromised, you know, and anybody's system can be compromised, you know, even if you're 20, but if you're not sleeping and you're not eating well and you're working 108 hours not eating well, eating junk and this and that, it can you can get attacked by, you know, an infection that you can't fight off because your immune system is battered so low, you know. So this is the advice, okay? I want to see something real quick. I want to see these new COVID restrictions, like people losing their jobs for not getting the virus. How's that going? People losing their job, not getting the vaccine, I'm sorry. What do the people think about that? Remember, I kept telling people to hold on to your money. Hold on to your money. Hold on. Remember, I kept saying that for months. You know, hold on to your money. This is part of their plan to fight us. Here's that guy, the King of Pentacles. We know better. This is going worldwide. I don't think that this is going to end anytime soon. You know, I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I think that we need to kind of hold our you know, this is their way of saying, this is their way of fighting us. You know, this is their way. We know better. We know better. We'll end your job. We'll end this. And most of us don't have enough money saved because of what's been going on in the last 2 years. So most of us don't have the money saved, you know, that we've been living on the bare minimum. Most of us don't have the money saved. And this is going on worldwide, but also the people that were in the administration, I know better. They are ready to fight this. This is part of what they're ready to fight for. You know what I'm saying? Or fight us on. They got their sword sharpened. They'll do anything to make sure that their thought. This is getting scary. I want to do a reading on what's going on in Australia because these people would love to do what Australia's doing. All right? What does the world, what's going on? How's the energy right now in the world? Prosperity begins. But to me, this card, it's always supposed to be about prosperity. Good. There's so much opportunity for prosperity. This is the Magician card too. So this is also telling me it's someone's orchestrating all of this. Everything that's going on in the world is orchestrated. But also, I always say Mother Nature, you know, Mother Nature, this planet, has enough for everybody. Like they like to try to tell people, oh, you know, there's not enough. We got to do, you know, population, like all the rich people, we need a population control, this and that. There's not enough. There's enough. Mother Nature will take care of everybody. How much food the stores and stuff throw away every day, or restaurants? There, look at all that food that's just thrown away, especially here in America. A lot of stuff that's thrown away. You know, restaurants and stuff just throw away food, you know, and that's what it is. There's so much prosperity in the world. Things could get so much better, but I feel like somebody or people are putting their hands on the growth. They're not allowing the prosperity to grow. They're like halting everything. The world. The whole world is anxious. The whole world is fighting. The whole world is anxious. The whole world is fighting. The whole world wants to go away from wherever they are. They're like, we got to move. The whole world just wants to get away from wherever they are. Mentally, they need a break. They want to get away mentally. They want to get away physically. There's so much anxiety. What kind of advice can we give the world? Be strong. We can overcome this. Be strong. Put your battle armor on. Be strong. You know, Get your swords. Stop having them below. It's time for us to fight. Put that sword up and fight. We need to be strong. We need to overcome, you know? And we will be victorious if we do. We got to fight, you guys. We got to fight. We got to fight. You know, we got to put our swords up. That means also thought process. That means we need to change these laws. We need to force these people that are in the positions of power to you know, change their thought process, change the laws, you know, and not allow them to, you know, rule us with laws. We need to use our brain. We have our brawn. We have our brawn. But we need to start using our brain and start fighting also intellectually, because that's what they're fighting with us about. It's time to fight them intellectually. They have whole panels like the foreign relations and all this stuff that, you know, and they had war games and all this crazy stuff of how to, you know, go after us. We need to do the same thing. We need to do the same thing. We need to come from a place of intellect. All right, so that's the end of the reading. Talk to you guys later. Bye.